Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Murder Corner, where I organize my Magic the Gathering collection for 3 hours, and if anything interrupts me, I scream. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so I just haven't really had much to say, but it kind of dawned on me recently that I am paralyzing myself because I'm trying so hard to come up with a plan for each of these videos, when in fact, the best thing I can do is just start talking and see where it goes. Most great things come from improvisation. You're a lot of the times in life in general, if you spend too much time thinking about exactly how you want things to go and exactly what your plan is, then you never make any progress. And even if you do make progress, if things don't go according to plan, then you start to panic and things kind of fall apart because you weren't expecting that and you never really thought about how to improvise, or you never learned to really adapt because you spent so much time planning. So learning to improvise is, I think, an important skill. So that's what we're going to do today is we're just going to talk about random stuff that pops into my head. But anyway, this piece is called Yarn, and I was really happy with how it came out. I thought it came together really well. I made it actually probably like a week ago, and it just sat in Procreate for a while because I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do with it. Most of the pieces that look like this or like have the same vibe, these illustrations, I put on either Foundation or Maker's Place. But I decided with this one I was just going to try with Object because I haven't been having a lot of luck on ETH. I think a lot of artists have been having those same problems. So I kind of decided I'm going to start burning away a bunch of my older work and I'm going to try some new stuff. I'm going to start fresh on Object and I'm going to try to make higher quality work and lower edition sizes, but raise the prices of them. Because I feel like people like expect cheap work on Tezos, and I really don't like that because it kind of cheapens the blockchain in general, in my opinion. It makes people feel like that's where you go to get cheap art and like that the art there is lesser and therefore the work that Object as a whole is like a lesser platform. So yeah, I'm going to be adding more work soon there, and I'm gonna get rid of whatever's left there and just kind of start fresh, start with this new approach, see how it goes. And yeah, that's my plan for right now. Um, in other news, you may have seen me standing outside of a Hobby Lobby holding a cardboard sign, which was kind of interesting. If if you don't know, uh, I had made a tweet just saying, like, I'll stand outside of a Hobby Lobby with a cardboard sign with your Twitter handle on it for $36.99, and somebody sent me the money. And he's really cool. We've talked since and kind of gotten to know each other. But he messaged me and he was like, "You don't actually have to do it. I just thought it was funny." But, like, of course I'm going to do it. Like, that's hilarious. I have to do it. So I ended up doing it, and I was actually paid by somebody else to print out a tweet and tape it to that same uh, sign. And since the first one, I've had four more people pay me. So that's super interesting. And I thought it was just kind of fun because it's such a like example of like what artists are having to do to make money. So it's like a performance art in itself of like this is what we're reduced to in this market of having to stand outside holding up signs and begging for money. So it was fun. I actually really enjoy it. If anybody wants me to do it again, it's $36.99 and I will write your Twitter handle on a cardboard sign and I'll tape like a picture or whatever to it. Anything that's within reason. Um, so yeah, that was pretty interesting. But yeah, other than that, I've just been making art, doing the same old thing, trying to make things work. Um, like I said, I'm trying to get in the mindset of just doing things and not letting myself sit around and overthink what I should be doing. Um, I have a bad problem of paralyzing myself by thinking about things way too much and then I never get anything done. So moving forward, I'm going to really try to just do the thing immediately. I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to try to live in the moment more. In other news, I should be at Art Basel. I'm pretty sure I'm going to make it. I don't think I'm going to be able to get there till the 9th, but I'm still going to be able to show up, which is cool. Um, I had a couple people buy my work. Somebody like commissioned me. Somebody bought my work, and they're trying to help me get out there, which is amazing. Like I seriously appreciate anybody who shows me that kind of support. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna try to do that with the same approach. A lot of the times when I go to events, I stay in my head too much, and I'm really gonna try to break out of that and be a little more social. Try to interact with people. Try to actually network. Um, I don't know how to network. Like that's never been something that's been a part of my jobs. I mostly worked in like the food industry and I had a weird year where I worked as a mechanic, but I've never really worked in an industry where I needed to make connections like that. I did work as like a bartender and a waiter, so I do have a little bit of those social skills, but when you're doing those jobs, you're not trying to like make connections, or at least I wasn't. I probably should have. Maybe I should have tried to get into like higher class restaurants looking back on it and actually made connections and tried to get into the art world. But I didn't know that at the time. So live and learn. Like I'm here now and I do understand that that's something I need to do. I feel like where NFTs are going, it is a lot more important to make connections now. People are scouring Twitter less to look for artworks, and I feel like a lot of bigger names are wanting people more to come to them and to make themselves more of a presence that they can observe as opposed to them having to scout out people and go find them and try to make that connection. Uh, the impetus is on the artist to put themselves out there and make themselves seen. And Twitter's like an awesome tool for that, but I don't feel like it's the main one anymore. I feel like you really need to try to get out there and make real connections now more than ever. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Uh, Hopefully, I can make some connections, and if nothing else, every time I go to one of these events, I get a little better at it. It gets a little bit easier. The first time the first event I went to was actually Art Basel 2 years ago. This will be my third one. Um, and I was just like paralyzed with fear. I went to like one event. I went out to like a couple of things, um, but I was pretty much on my own. I didn't really talk to anybody except for like one event where I met Paper Buddha and Empress Trash and like some people who I really love, and I'm super happy that I did meet them. But yeah, for the most part, I kept to myself that whole event because I was so scared and like I had never done anything like that before. I had also never traveled by myself. But then the next time I went to an event, it was a little bit easier. And by the time I went to Art Basel the next year, like I was a lot more confident and I talked to a lot more people and I still wasn't very confident and I was still scared and it was still hard, but it had gotten easier. So that's the thing. Like social interaction is a skill, just like anything else, just like creating art. You just have to keep doing it. And for some of us, it's really hard. Like it feels like to me, like everybody else just gets it naturally. Like people just know how to interact with each other. And for some reason, I was born without that. And like I know part of me in part of my brain, I know that's not true. That like a lot of people struggle with social anxieties. Like, it's not just me, but it's like an irrational feeling. It doesn't have to make sense in my mind. It's just like that is how it is. Like, I'm just socially awkward and I'm the only one and I stand out, even though like that's complete nonsense. And I can tell myself that over and over, but like it, your brain's not always going to be rational about it. So, and the only way to get over it is just to do it. You just have to force yourself and you have to put yourself in those really uncomfortable situations, and you're going to feel really bad afterwards and like you did a horrible job, but you're going to have to do it again and again and again. And eventually you start to feel like, okay, I'm getting this. Like, this is still hard, this is still frustrating, but I'm starting to get the hang of it. But anyway, we're at the end of the video, so thank you all for listening. You can find this piece on Object. If you want me to stand outside of a Hobby Lobby, you can pay me $36.99. And I'll see you guys on the next one. You have a great day. Bye.